Hi, it's Mike from Phase 1 DJ Store. Filming from a different location this time. Thought we'd bring you into the Phase 1 lab. Anyway, I've got a hot product I'd like to share with you. We've basically had our hands on this for about 24 hours now, and it's the brand new CDJ from Pioneer, and it's the CDJ 900 Nexus, which has been a significant upgrade from the CDJ 900, the original. What we'd like to show in this video is how simple it is to use. That's one thing I have noticed straight away from, I'm not a big reader of instruction books. Basically got this hooked up, linked it up to another one, and it out of the box just works. Works brilliantly with the Pioneer Recordbox system, which I am a very big fan of. Playing it through the USB keys, excellent. Display on this, superb. It is a really high definition display on here, which we'll show you on the camera in a minute. So like I say, what we're going to do is we're going to chop this video up into little sections and just give you a walkthrough of what I've found so far without so much as reading an instruction book. And also what we'll do, we'll take some photos and some close-ups as well. Okay, the first part of the video, I'm just going to show you the layout of the unit. It's very familiar. Pioneer have not tried to reinvent the wheel here. They've stuck to their winning format. Let me just show you the setup that we're going to be working with. We've got two units and we've linked them both together using the Ethernet cable. So we can plug a USB stick into one unit over here like this, and we can pull tracks onto this one over here. So using the Recordbox system, we're going to be showing you the playing music from a USB stick. But just looking at the front of the unit, they haven't reinvented the wheel here. We've got our classic Pioneer layout, and that's what I love, is they've not changed anything. You know, if you stick into a design and you know it works, why change it? What you'll notice up here, this now on the 900 is a full colour display, which we're going to zoom in on that and a little bit later in the video so you can see. You've got your beat divide down the side. We've got our loop in exactly the same place it's always been. A little bit different. This is, instead of it being a button that lights up, it actually comes up on the screen. So we've got the Recordbox, we've got link, we've got USB, and we've got disc, because also this does play CDs as well. Couple of new buttons on there that there'll be some lovers and haters, but personally I think it's a good thing, because it does free you up to be far more creative in the mix. We've got the sync and the master button. Things that are also, when we go up to the top here, we've got the break and release, we've got our jog mode, we've got vinyl and CDJ, and we've got our memory, delete and call buttons on here. So a winning format, a winning layout that Pioneer have stuck to for a long time now, and it just works. Next bit of the video, we'll get some tracks playing and we'll show you how easy it is, and we're going to focus in on this display. I think one of the things that I've been really impressed with is the display on this. Compared to the old 900, I can see all my artwork, I can see my waveforms, very much like the display on the CDJ 2000, which is the 2000 Nexus, which is their flagship model. They have now brought this great colour display down to the low model, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So let's talk about browsing. Yeah, so browsing the music that's on the USB stick, it is now a much more better, pleasurable experience, because you've got all that colour and the detail, and you can even see that you've got all your artwork coming in there as well. Obviously, when you use Recordbox, and if anybody is not familiar with Recordbox, Recordbox is basically iTunes for DJs, I call it. It's where you're going to make your database on your computer and export them playlists and bring them across to your CDJs. You can connect your Recordbox collection via the laptop directly to the unit. Personally, I like to work on a playlist basis, so I work my playlists out on my Mac at home, and then I go out and I take my USB stick with me, and everything I'm going to need that night is on the USB stick. But you know, it just is all the information I'm getting up here now with the colour screen, with the artwork. I get the time, I get the BPM, I get the key, and if I've rated a track also within Recordbox, I get that information as well. It's just a much better place to be than where we were with the old 900. As much as that was a great machine, I think it was certainly lacking when it came to the display. But you know, Pioneer have hit the nail right on the head with this one. So we can go back. You can see we can search by artist, album, track, playlist. I can bring histories in as well. We can search. We've got a search by BPM. So it works in exactly the same way that all the CDJs do, but this is just a nicer display, and I think you'll agree that that looks absolutely fantastic. So if we were to go in there, and we can go into one of the playlists, and like I say, you keep seeing the artwork. Zooming in on that display as well, you'll notice here we've got our waveform at the bottom, and we've got our BPM. Very important note I'd like to make about the BPM. On this particular model, it goes in increments of points, so you can go 1, 2, 5.2. So it's going to be very, very, very accurate as well. Let's load a track up and so you can see the waveform and the rest of the display, so we can have a look. So what we'll do is, if we just want to select a track, I suppose anything will do really. We'll load this up. Right, we can zoom in and we can zoom out as well. We'll just get that playing. So zoom right in and zoom right out as well. You've got a lovely waveform display down the bottom here, and we've got the display at the top here. We've got our BPM, we've got our key. Again, all this information is just absolutely invaluable, and the display on the screen, I know I keep saying it, it's just, you know, fantastic. We can go back to browsing. We can browse. I can look for other tracks while the other track is playing. So say I was in browse there now, and we find another track that I'd like to tag. Right, I've got nothing in the tag list at the minute. I go back there, and now I should be able to go back in, and we've tagged that. So as you're browsing through your collection, if you're not sure quite what you're going to play in what order, you can tag things as you go along and put them in a record box, a bit like the old school days of where we used to flick through our CDs or flick through our records and leave them standing up in the case. So I really like the tag list idea. Coming out of the tag list, we go straight back on the display to what's actually playing now. I can bring info up of, you know, where that track is coming from. It says it's coming from player number 1, and we've got all the information of what BPM and everything. Again, it's just so clear. Okay, the next bit I'd like to show you is a really hot feature. It's the new looping system on the CDJ 900, and I think you'll agree that this is where the display, again I keep talking about the display a lot, really does come into its own. How to set a loop up is very easy. We'll just get a track playing, and if we want to set a 4-bar loop, there you are. It's as simple as that. It displays it there on the screen so you can see exactly where you are with it. If you want to cut that, just press the button again and it halves it, and halves it again, and halves it again. If we want to adjust that out, just hold the out button and we double in length. You can also use these two buttons over here as well, again to half, and obviously double. And also not forgetting that we can adjust to get as accurate as we want with the loop, or do anything you want to do with it. So we can take it right down to so really easy to use. We'll just double that up. This is where this section of the player comes into its own unique new effect for this particular model of CDJ. So what happens is when we press this, I'll just turn the volume up to make sure you can hear that. It's like a rolling effect, and it's very unique to this particular player. So this is a brand new feature, and again very simple to use. Coming out of the loop, again very simple. Also, the beat divide section can be used when you're not in a loop to create another effect as well. All you got to do is press the button. Fantastic. Again, it's a very unique effect to the CDJ 900 Nexus. Right, one of the other things that the CDJ 900, the original one, was very, very famous for, and it was a brand new, groundbreaking feature, was the slip mode. The new CDJ 900 Nexus also incorporates slip mode, but what they've also done is incorporated this slip loop. So using the beat divide button, we can create another effect. So we've got our standard slip mode. So if I take hold of the track there, the track is still playing. You'll be able to see by the needle that's going across the bottom that when I let that go, it jumps straight back into where the track would be playing. But what we've got here also now is we've got slip loop. So using the beat divide buttons, we can get another unique effect. Again, one thing I will say about this player, it seems to be very intuitive, and the looping and the slip loop are just so tight. You've really got to start using this item with Recordbox, and it just unlocks the total potential of what this player is capable of. Right, so we've used the CDJs, we've had a USB stick plugged into this one over here, and we've got our Ethernet cable plugged in over here, but also we can plug in smart devices. Currently I've got my iPad plugged in to CDJ player number 2, and using the Recordbox app, which is for iPhone, I believe it's for Android as well, so your smart tablets and iPads. So it's a piece of freeware, again, just like Recordbox, it's freely available for you to download. So I have got some of my music on my iPad. Right, and when we hook into there, as you can see, we've got some music there, some tracks. If I want to load a track into one of the CDJs from here, it brings up both of them because they're all connected. So if I want to put that track on there, put that in, brilliant. And now that track is actually playing from my smart device. At the same time, I could still be over here browsing the USB stick, because I just press USB here and I'm still on that USB stick. So if I go into playlists there, pick a track from there, and I can play from the USB stick. So at the minute I have got the USB stick that I can play over here, and I've also got my smart device. So if you were in a situation where you were the second DJ on, and the first DJ had his USB stick in here, and you got an opportunity to play, and you had Recordbox on your phone, it's where it gets interesting, you could just plug in, there'll be no interruption. It could be a seamless transition from DJ to DJ. Also, that works in the way of, you could put a second USB stick in here as well, and they cross talk, so there's never going to be any break between swapping DJs and swapping sets. Just works absolutely seamlessly. The Recordbox app again is freely available. I use iTunes because I've got iPad, and you just go to iTunes, it's a piece of freeware. You can do all your beat gridding and everything you can do in the PC or Mac version of Recordbox as well. So again, another great feature that's just setting this player apart. I know these features are available in the CDJ 2000 Nexus, but it is also available now with the 900 Nexus. So, if you want to do it really old school, Yes, it does. It plays CDs. So we'll pop a CD in there. We've pressed the disc button up at the top. Just wanted to quickly show you this. Obviously what's not going to happen is everything's not going to be as quantized, so you know, it's back to some old school mixing, but we'll just load a track in. Does give us our information. We still get our BPMs, get a lovely waveform at the top there. We don't get the big waveform, unfortunately, but you still get a lot of detail on here, and the looping and the beat divider works well as well. So I think you would agree that the features of the loop and the beat divide and the slip loop still work really, really well, even using old school CDs. So one of the other new features that are on the new CDJ 900 Nexus is the beat sync and master function. Now you've got to be using Recordbox to get this function to work correctly, but to be honest with you, if you're going to be having these CDJs, you really want to be getting into Recordbox in a big way. So what we've got is we've got a couple of tracks here. We've got this one just loaded in. It's at 126.8. This is the master track. We've got our second track over here, which currently is at 129.1. Obviously it's never going to mix, but what we can do is we can press the sync, and now we have synced the BPMs exactly. We can set a loop. We'll double that loop up, and we can start using things like the loop divide. It just works. I know this feature is on the CDJ 2000 as well, but now they've brought it across to the 900 Nexus. There's a lot of argument of why, if you should sync, not sync. Personally, I think sync is a great tool to release you up, to be more creative in the mix and use these new features that a lot of these new players have. So that is the beat sync function using the Recordbox system on the CDJ 900 Nexus. So there you go, that's my little roundup of what I think of that product. I think you get the impression that I quite like it. This is a different location for a video, for a phase 1 video. If you want some more information on the Pioneer CDJ 900 Nexus, click the link in the description to this video and it'll take you through to our website and it'll give you more information on specs, things like that. We're going to take the camera off the stand and we're going to take some pictures and what have you. Thank you very much. It's Mike at Phase 1 from the Phase 1 lab. Cheers.